Hidden away on the rugged North Devon coast, Bucks Mills is a quiet village with a remarkable history. In the late Elizabethan era, Richard Cole, Lord of the Manor of Bucks, transformed the shoreline by creating the Gut, a channel blasted through solid rock using gunpowder that allowed ships to reach the beach. He also built a small harbour and quay, helping to establish the village as a thriving centre of trade and fishing. Although much of this heritage has since been reclaimed by the sea, traces of the old harbour can still be seen at low tide. During the 1800s, ships regularly delivered limestone and coal mash to supply the village's lime kilns, supporting local farming and industry. Today, the abandoned kilns and dramatic coastline serve as an enduring reminder of Bucks Mills' rich maritime and industrial history.
Hello everybody and welcome to Bucks Mills here on the North Devon coast. Now there's something very special about this place, and it's not just that it's such a beautiful little village which we're going to walk through literally in a second, and it's not about its history. It's actually down on the beach and it's rock pools. I actually think this is probably one of the best places in Devon for rock pooling, and the object tonight is to go down there, explore some of the rock pools and get some photographs. Sunset's in about 2.5 hours, so let's go. Well, this is the main road you come down, and you come down into this very small little valley, and there's a free car park there, and all you got to do is follow this beautiful little stream that runs down into this village here. And already you can hear so many birds tweeting away in the woodlands. I must come back here one day and try and do some wildlife photography around the woods here, because it's just teeming with bird life. It's literally just a dead end down here. Now I believe there's only something like 30 houses down in here in Bucks Mill. I mean, there's a bit of a modern one there, but as you come down into the village here, it's very much a traditional old working fishing village, I guess. A lot of these whitewashed houses here. One just through there. Some of these actually look, I mean, I wouldn't say they're modern, but they look very good condition. Really beautiful. A nice little gated entrance there. I mean, I don't want to be too obvious that I'm filming. I don't want to get people's houses on here, but it's very difficult to not show you some of the beautiful little houses along here. Very traditional English houses. That's looks like an old chapel here. 1907. I think this is the first one that was built here. So yeah, it was kind of late being built, a little church here, because a lot of the history and a lot of the lime kilns, which we'll see in a minute, dated way before the 1800s. So it's strange that a church was built so late on here. So the closer you get to the beach, which is literally just down the end of this road here, a lot of these houses just seem to get older and older. I think these are much more traditional houses which could have been standing here since, well, the early 1800s possibly. A lot of the workmen who used to, work ladies probably, that worked on the lime kilns here would have lived in these. Look at this old place here, look. Southwood, number 12. Very nice. A beautiful pink these flowers are here, look. With this lovely building in the background. It's kind of a barnacle. Rebuilt 1989. Architect Andrew Mills. Engineer, gosh. Oh wow, that's cool. Oh, you can see there's like, I don't want to be too deceiving to people's houses, but there's like shells on it, and there's shells in kind of like the brickwork there. There's a shell there. Nice touch. Oh, here, look. Wow, look at these. Look, there's fossils in there. Look at that, how cool is that? A nice touch. I am being a little bit intrusive. Gosh, there's a telephone box here as well, look. I did notice this last time I was here. And it does actually work. Well, this is kind of like the dead end here in Bucks Mill Village. Again, some very old little cottages here. Look at this, little courtyard in there as well. Funny enough, I was just speaking to a couple who have just walked up there, and they've actually got a holiday let in one of the little fisherman cottages just up there, and they were just saying how beautiful it is. And they've done quite a few around Devon and Cornwall, and I think this one is one of the best ones they've done actually. But so we're just coming down into the get our first view of the ocean here, and suddenly the sun's with us. Got a bit of light. Dare I say, will we get a sunset? Look at this. King's Cottage, that's a gate, isn't it, eh? My gosh, look at this place. Come on. This is one of the lime kilns here. And this building here is, I believe, used to be owned by a pair of artists. Yeah, what were their names? Judith and Mary. So this is owned by the National Trust now, but yeah, I think it's very intact inside. They've tried to keep it as it once was before. But yeah, these were Judith and Mary were two artists who used to come down here and stay throughout the summer, and they would create art and get inspiration from the windows here, I guess. But I think you can. This is National Trust, but you can go in here. Don't sue me, the National Trust, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, nobody's in there, but yeah, this is their little summer house. I think it is open during the day, and they tried to keep it intact as possible. Can't see very well into there, but yeah, they've even got the old desk in there. But what a view. And possibly the toilet. Not a bad place to sit though, have the door wide open and got a bit of a ocean view there, look. So this is one of the lime kilns here, and what they would have done is they would have transported from shipping vessels limestone through this area here, which is known as the gut. You can see how smooth the sand is there. This is what it used to look like there, but they blasted this area out with dynamite, and they transported limestone up into the lime kilns here. And then the lime kilns would heat the limestone up to an incredibly high temperature, which formed quicklime. And then that quicklime was interacted with rainwater, and then over time that creates a chemical reaction causing the quicklime to turn into like a powder, and then that powder was used for agricultural purposes here in North Devon, because the soil in farmland here is very acidic, and the quicklime helps fertilize the soil here, so it's better for agricultural farming, growing crops and raising cattle. Well, here we go, look at this. And the light is just turning so beautiful right now, look. You need to come here at a low tide, for me personally, to really appreciate the rock pools, which we're going to go and check out in a second. But even just like the geological rock formations here, absolutely incredible. But I think the lowest tide will be in about half an hour. And then it'll be coming back in, so I need to be very careful. But the sun will be setting kind of like over here in the next 2 hours, and the sun will rise over in this direction. So I've had to be a little bit careful of when I come here. Sunrise and sunset are the perfect time to be coming here, because if you're going to be shooting into the coastline, which I'm going to be today, this is partially why I've come here tonight, then you're going to get, if you come here during the day, then you're going to be shooting into the sun a lot of the day. So you really need to come here at a sunrise and the sunset, I think. Which is not a bad thing, because it's so quiet here. I mean, I've seen a couple of people here I actually spoke to a couple as I was coming just down into the town a second ago, and they were just completely blown away how beautiful this place is. They actually come down here on holiday, which I'm quite surprised actually. I guess there are holiday rentals here, but they were just saying how beautiful it is. And compared to places like Saunton Sands, Woolacombe Beach, Croyd, will be absolutely rammed full of people this time of year, because we're in June. A lot of people come down here on their holidays, and those places get very busy. So this is kind of like a hidden gem here at Bucks Mill. So if you come on holiday down to North Devon, come down here one evening and just really appreciate it, because I've probably seen about 6 people here so far. And just looking down at the beach, there is one person over there I've just spotted actually, but apart from that, that is it. Oh, I think there's a fisherman over there. Right, let's get in these rock pools. You can see they've kind of got some old winches, or it's like old cogs here, which they must have used back in the day, back in the 1800s, 1900s, whatever it was. Yeah, you get a lot more, a bit of appreciation for the gut here. And this was the lime kiln, so you get a bit of a better view from it. But there's also a waterfall around here, which I really want to photograph later, and you get a better view of it. But you got to be really careful here. These rocks will hold no prisoners. Oh wow, look at the waterfall, looking strong as well. And the wind is slowly dying down. If I can make my way onto the gut here, and then the plan is to walk along here, explore some of the rock pools, and hopefully get a photograph with the waterfall and Bucks Mill village in the background. That's the shot I've been kind of like envisioning. So I want to get a blend of marine life in the rock pools and that beautiful coastline in the background. Oh, God, they must have had to use a lot of dynamite to clear all this, look. Probably should have brought my Wellington boots, but gosh, look at here, look. Look at the seaweed here. So if you look here, I think this is what they call bladderwrack. It's a type of seaweed. You see it's got kind of like little eggs in the weeds, look. But in here it looks like the actual rock pool here looks like they've got some beautiful vibrant coral weed in there or something like that. I mean, I'm no expert, but my gosh. And I don't know if you can see over here, but you've got so many limpets and kind of like little sea snails that are attaching themselves to the rocks here. Like, look at these guys here. This area is just full of limpets and these little snails. So it's so important you watch where you step in here, because this area is teeming with marine life and crustaceans, and I do not want to disturb any of it. So we're going to quickly get some photographs. So I've just got a nice little composition lined up here, being very mindful of my shadow, because my shadow is getting in the shots where they were earlier over that way, because I was probably shooting towards that way too much. So my shadow was getting in the shot. I could probably Photoshop it out, but I like to get it right in camera. But it's just being very mindful of that. Keep an eye out for that when you're taking a shot. But I'm at 14mm there. F9, 1/13 of a second. ISO 64, and I'm just taking some touch focus shots here. Say 5. Again, look how many limpets are on here, look. Being very, very careful. I mean, you can just see how vast the rock pools are here, look. Not the place to have an accident. Obviously, if you come in here, tell someone where you're going. If you come in here by yourself, gosh, look at this rock pool here. Wow, look at this. It truly is an incredible marine ecosystem we've got here. I mean, look at this. God, there's so many little shells in here. I don't know what them ones are. Some form of limpet. Again, there's a lot of snails in there. Doing some touch focus again. It's all about waiting for that light to come back at the moment because it keeps dropping in and out, and that golden light is just making everything so much better. So it's all about finding a composition and just waiting for the opportune moment. Again, beautiful textures here, beautiful seaweeds. Look at the colours here. A couple snails in there. Just leading up into the shot there. Very nice. I am losing the background a little bit, being at 14mm, but I don't really care. That's a small part of it for me, because this is just so unique and so beautiful. I really want to highlight this in the shot, you know. And like that, our sun's gone. Right, I think we need to go and get a shot of this waterfall. Right, if I can get over there safely. I'll tell you what, my shoes feel like they have zero grip on them at the moment. So this is oh, so dodgy. Ugh. Again, so many of these little sea snails clinging to the rocks, look. I mean, they're everywhere. Gotta be really careful here. Do not want to disturb them. Oh, look at this now, look. Suddenly the lights just opened up so much more. The rock pools were quite dark. You can see here how dark they are. Not really in the light, but here. Now, this is what we want. Beautiful golden light. What time are we on? Oh, the sun's looking amazing as well. I didn't think we were going to get hardly a good sunset at all tonight, to be quite honest, because there was a big thick overcloud coming in, but that doesn't seem like it's coming in quite yet, so we could be in for a really beautiful sunset now, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, look at this foreground element here. Look at the textures here and the colours of the seaweed, kind of just intertwining like that with the waterfall in the background. You might understand now why I was saying earlier about not coming here during the day, because you get the sun behind the waterfall there, so you're shooting into the sun, so the light's just not as appealing. I've got the light kind of like at my 4 o'clock position there, looking on, so the sun is in an incredibly perfect position right now for me to get some nice light here on the cliff line. I think my main subject tonight has just been focusing on these rock pools with the waterfall in the background, and it's what I was aiming for before I come up here, to be honest. This is the kind of shot that I wanted. I think some of my drone shots worked out really well earlier as well, but nobody's here either now. It's coming up to 9 o'clock at night though. This is the thing with this time of night, is sunsets are so late, so it's going to be a late night tonight, but all worth it for an incredible shoot like this. But it's got a couple of shots of that waterfall. It's really beautiful. And with the sun setting behind it, it made for a nice shot, but I want to go down here just to the other side of the gut and get myself in a nice position for the final moments of this sun setting, and might be able to get a nice shot looking back towards this way of Bucks Mill, like a landscape orientation shot. Most of my pictures tonight have been in portraiture orientation. I found like I've really needed to really get the rock pools in and the background, but it's just the incredible vista here. So 14mm to 16mm has really been my kind of go-to focal length this evening, but I've just put my 24-70 on just to give me that bit more of compression as we're looking out to the sunset over this way. And you probably can't see it from here, but literally in the centre of my screen there, in the distance, is Clovelly. Now, if anybody has been to North Devon, then surely you know where Clovelly is. It's a beautiful little fishing village. There's no road through it. It's just on a very steep cobbled hill. And it's probably one of the most beautiful villages in all of England. I've been there so many times to photograph it. I haven't done a video on it yet, but that's kind of like in my mind at some point to do that. I want to get my book finished first, my book on photographing Devon, which I'm working on at the moment, which again is partially the reason why I'm here. I've been offered 5 publishing deals at the moment, but none of them I'm quite happy with, if I'm being honest with, at the moment. So I'm holding off at the moment, thinking self-publication, but we will wait and see. But Clovelly is an amazing place. If you come here to North Devon, you must go and visit Clovelly. In fact, last time I was there, I took a photograph of a lobster fisherman hauling in his catch from the early morning. I got there about 8:30 in the morning, so he must have been out bright and early, and yeah, he was hauling in his catch. And that photograph made the National Geographic Traveller Photography UK competition finals in the food and travel category in 2024. So yeah, very proud of that. To get I've been in the finals 3 years in a row, 23, 24 and 25, but to have a picture from Devon in it really meant a lot to me, so I was happy I could do that. Putting Devon on the map, slowly but surely. World class place to photograph here. Wow, there's actually some people over here. I'm not the only lunatic out at this time of day, but as we were saying earlier, look at the rock formations. I don't know what this stick is here. Maybe it's just a marker to point towards where the gut is. So if anybody is coming here by a little boat or something, they can easily spot where kind of like the entrance is. But let's get ourselves, I don't like this side that we're on here, so we're gonna have a little move along here, and this sun is setting very quick. I need to stop yabbering and get myself into a nice position ready to capture this sunset. This light is absolutely stunning. Can't believe we're getting a beautiful sunset like this. So you can see Clovelly a little bit better here. It's just tucked in over there into the cliffside there, and you can also get a view of Lundy Island over in this way. So if you haven't been to Lundy Island as well, that's another one. Absolutely incredible place to go. One of the best places in the southwest of England to photograph wildlife on Lundy Island, in my opinion. I actually done a video on it, so if you haven't seen that yet, go and check that out after this video. Well, I definitely don't think we're going to get any colour in this sky now, so just playing around with some more long exposures. Got a fantastic composition lined up here. Look at this. Look at this. Come on. How did that turn out? Oh, looks good. Very dramatic. Probably one of my favourite shots of tonight, actually, this. Oh well, no more colour, but can't complain because we've got some amazing photographs this evening. and it's 10 o'clock. So I better get home. Oh my gosh, I'm just thinking, how do I get out of here? Gosh, I'm feeling tired now and a bit disorientated, but what an amazing shoot that was. Well, I've made it, everybody. I'm just heading back to the car. We've come away with some amazing photographs this evening. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me. See you on the next adventure.